Hey.
Breakfast time. Where's Hector at? Did he leave? He's like, did I leave?
Joking. I can hear you. What is that?
I don't know. So,
I don't
you didn't
either.
even say breakfast talk.
You don't even give us an intro.
I know. I'm still waiting for that intro, bro.
Yeah.
That we're going live.
You didn't even get a countdown, like 3, 2, 1. Going, hey.
Yeah, that'd have been perfect if you just played it right after you said 3, 2, 1.
Or you could,
or you person watching can go away.
Or when you start the live, or when it starts on stuff, you should be like, "Hey, welcome to Breakfast Talk, episode whatever."
Boom. On this episode, we're gonna talk about, and then just hit the intro and just like, oh, you missed it.
Oh, look at that.
While he's MIA, you should play the intro.
Yeah.
Wakey, wakey, smell those eggs and bakey. It's time for Breakfast Talk, a podcast discussing current, independent, and mainstream entertainment topics, from gaming and movies to comics. Start your week off right with the Breakfast Boys. As always, if you can smell what we're cooking, click that like button, and if your tummies are rumbling for more, click subscribe and ring that brekkie bell to turn on all notifications. All right, let's talk.
Well, that was perfect timing. You got back in right as the intro ended. Nailed it.
There you go.
Nice. Everything feels right in the world. Buttercat's happy. You can tell.
Yeah. That face.
So he's pretty excited. Can you see at least Buttercat? Are we 2 black screens with Buttercat just hanging out?
Pretty much.
Oh,
yeah.
At least you can see that. That's the most important thing.
Yeah, he's my buddy.
So this episode, we're actually going to be talking about we're going to be talking about the PlayStation. Wow, what the hell?
The PlayStation releases and the trailer.
Yes, trailers.
100%.
Yeah.
Trailers. Wait, what's the? Oh no, I said the PlayStation releases and then the trailer, the one trailer to rule them all.
Sure. Yeah, the one. So,
am I crazy? Is there more than one trailer we're talking about?
Yeah. There's a Spider-Man trailer and a Wolverine trailer.
No, that's what I just said. The PlayStation releases and then separately the trailer.
What trailer?
I forgot. I know. I'm trying to remember.
What's the trailer?
Oh, we'll get to it. It starts with an M.
Okay.
Anyways.
Man on the Run?
Damn, that's pretty quick. I can't believe you nailed that. Greg, where's the intro and the banner that's supposed to be following that intro? See, look at this. Look at this. Hector's back one time. You forgot everything going on. Look at this. Hector leaves one time. He comes back, and then you forget everything.
Well, we're
like rookies over here.
To do that, but buy me a coffee.
Buy it. Buy the coffee.
Buy me a coffee.
Fear Nova Comics.
I don't even have a mug with me. Look at this. The world isn't right. I lied. I got a mug with me. Fill my cup. See, it's empty. Because if I did this and it was full, it wouldn't be a pretty picture.
Buy us a coffee.
I'm actually really glad that was empty. Wouldn't that have sucked? Just do you see my computer short circuit in the background? Coated in coffee.
If you're watching live, yes, this is earlier. We're deciding to do these earlier. Dylan doesn't have like a day off really, so
ever. I don't. No sleep till. Damn it. Nah.
Tonight. No sleep.
Yeah.
Tonight.
So yeah, we're gonna start doing it at noon Eastern, live, and then
same release date
at the same time. But
yeah,
if I don't forget to like release the video.
Nice. So I'm gonna hop right into video game news, and I'm gonna pull up the trailers again because I wanted to reference stuff that I'm not gonna remember offhand. But basically, as Hector was alluding to and spoiler alerting all over the place, there are 2 video games that Marvel is releasing with PlayStation 5 that look fucking dope. So if you have not seen the trailers, highly recommend pulling these up. But basically, we've got Wolverine, and that's all it is. It's just Marvel's Wolverine, which is interesting because they're putting the Marvel banner on it very prominently, where they don't always do it like that. And so I'm almost curious if what they're doing is trying to also create more worlds in which to pull from. So it's very interesting on like how they're laying this out. But basically, the scene starts off, bam, PlayStation, and then it comes into a bar with people that are just absolutely wrecked, and I mean like beating the crap out of. Clearly, shows the close up on the knuckles of Wolverine, bloodied up and dirty while he's sitting at the bar trying to have a drink, and some clever guy is like, "Hey, I've got a knife. Should I test this out?" And Wolverine's like, "I've got 3. That's not a knife. This is a knife." And then it fades into the Wolverine logo, and that's all it is. It is super basic. So it kind of looks like this might be. What I hope this ends up being is like Red Dead Redemption for Wolverine. I want this to be like his random walk around story. I don't remember who I am, that kind of thing. But I think that would be incredible to see that journey like in here. So that's definitely that was definitely the most interesting thing on that one. Was the fact that it was so broad. He's got a cowboy hat on. I forgot to mention that. That's also why the Red Dead Redemption thing kind of comes up. But yeah, basically, they leave it so open ended with this trailer, definitely on purpose. But yeah, I have no idea where they're going to go with that. So I would love to hear in the comments if anyone who's watching or watches this later is like, this is what I think they're going to do. But anyways, on to the next trailer, which is Marvel's Spider-Man 2, which right off the bat, the second it starts off, it's like a dark, windy alley. Kind of reminds me of Gotham a little bit, like the first setting. You know what I mean? Yeah, it's very typically Spider-Man's very bright. You know what I mean? Like he's in the sun swinging around, and bad guys are like, "I want to ruin sunshine." This one's a lot more like I said, like Gotham or like the Arkham series. So yeah, it starts off and immediately there's like this what's it called? Stoplight, and electricity just starts like zapping it from a distance. You don't see anything, but it's very interesting because 2 weeks ago we were talking about how the Sinister Six and stuff like that. So they're probably it's the Spider-Man games. They typically put in like 150 bad guys, so I'm sure they're gonna have a ton in here. But it was interesting the ones they chose to point out, which clearly it shows that. Then it shows the Spider-Man logo, and immediately, and this was interesting, it shows him fighting with the Doc Ock arms. So the what's it called? Not the Doc Ock arms, but like the movie, the one that Iron Man gave him. Yeah, the Iron Spider. Thank you. I was like, what the hell's the name of it? The Hector's like, oh my God, you're embarrassing yourself.
Doc Ock arms? Come on, guy.
Well, no, because I know it's not that version of him, but it's just interesting because that they ever added that. But yeah, so he's fighting somebody, just like some hooded figure. I can't actually tell who it was. Did either one of you figure out who that first bad guy was?
I was guessing like Electro, just because.
No, not the electricity one. I'm talking about the first physical guy you see that he's fighting. So like he punches him up in the air, and he looks like Green Arrow. Like that's what I was trying to. Like it's obviously not, but it's just like I couldn't tell like who this guy is, and all you see. Can I screen share this real quick?
Yeah.
Screen share this screen. So it's this scene right here. So Hector, I just realized you can't see this. But do you know what I'm talking about? The first guy he knocks up in the air wearing the Iron Spider suit. I can't figure out who it is. I got a full screen. He kind of looks like what Green Arrow looked like in the TV show when he first starts. He's just got like a hoodie on. He's got some stuff on his legs. Like I can't quite figure out who that is.
There's a million reaction videos already, like on TikTok or whatever.
I could probably just play this right on here, can I? I have the volume off, but I just wanted to point out some of the stuff. But yeah, we got right off the bat, like I was talking about, we got this like dark alley with the electricity going on, right? And the very next thing, yeah. Oh, I think that was the guy too. Actually, now that I just realized, I think that was this guy getting thrown around. At first, I thought it was Spider-Man. And then the second thing is, this was super interesting. There's a second Spider-Man in this, and it's highly suggested that this is likely going to be a co-op game, which would be kind of badass because the one thing that sucks about Spider-Man is it's such a good game, but you can't play with anybody. So it would be really interesting if that is what they're doing with this.
I think they kind of really suggested it with the whole double kind of like webbing them up and doing that like finisher move together.
Yeah. Yeah. So it's very heavily implied. Also, who the heck is this chickie? Oh. So the first person who, which Spider-Man is this? Because this looks like
Miles.
Yeah, Miles Morales one. That's what I was gonna say. But yeah, there's the chick that jumps in the air with the two flaming blades. I actually have no idea who that is. Yeah, so there's that, and he's using electric powers, but they're not the same color as the ones we saw a second ago. They're like blue and this one's yellow. This one looks like almost like Sandman. Yeah, the tag team. What's it called? Web attack here. It could just be a random criminal too, which would be interesting if you're just fighting random bad guys.
Well, there's a voice in the beginning, and people think it's Kraven.
Yeah, it kind of sounds like something Kraven would say too.
Yeah.
Damn, look at that shot right there, though. Yeah. I want somebody to challenge me. I want somebody to, that can actually fight against. Which if they had Sandman in the beginning, they have was Electro?
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know what using names here. But yeah, I'm trying to think of the other Sinister Six ones. But yeah, we got Kraven. So like it would be very interesting. But yeah, I dig this. Like this screen, like this stop right here with the two Spider-Mans. It's like so fucking awesome. Definitely excited to see where they're going with this. But yeah, basically, let me move that off screen so you guys.
It would be great if they called this game Spider Bros. Like that was like the tagline.
Well, it's interesting because they're calling it Spider-Man 2, and like I think the emphasis is kind of like on Army of Two. Do you remember that game?
Yeah.
Yeah, and you guys can't hear it because I have it muted. But basically, after you hear that voice, so there's a voice throughout the whole thing, basically going, "I've looked for people to fight. I've looked for a challenge. I've looked for people, someone who could, basically stand up to me, someone who could maybe even defeat me." And I have every time I've been disappointed, something like that. But maybe you can, be the one or whatever. And right when you think that, you're going to see that bad guy who's talking, they're like, "Are you up for the challenge?" And then basically it flashes over to Venom and is like, "I am," kind of thing. Like it's kind of badass, like how they're introing that. So I'm almost wondering if they're going to put more of a focus, because it's the Marvel focused one. If they're going to put more of a focus on. I like how they're like 2023. Like they're announcing this stuff so far in advance.
Yeah.
Like I feel like no one's gonna remember the hype from this that far from like they're gonna have to do one of these drops like every 6 months.
Yeah, I think that's exactly what they're gonna do actually.
Yeah.
Well, they're just letting people know so they can like get
start conspiracy theories.
Yeah. No, I mean just get a reserve copy.
The pre-orders.
Yeah, PS5 because. Who has one? Like 5 people in the world have one. So, yeah, you're one of them. So,
yeah, I had to step over a baby to get it.
Yeah, those two games made me want PS5. So.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So those two I'm pretty excited about, and another game we didn't mention, which it's super interesting. Come on, pull up here. No, not that one. Get out of here. Oh, whoops, that's why. Yeah. So this is something that I know my brother's going to be stoked for, but basically anyone who's played the God of War series, fantastic games. The first two, like cinematically in the sense of like the storytelling, are pretty fantastic, but like the third one was one of those. I think the third God of War was the first video game that there was no direct cutscenes in the sense that there was like it was like a oh no that was the fourth. Sorry, the fourth one was like that. So the third one was the first like big monsters like this where like they had to like completely understand how they develop games to make it. And with the fourth release, which was just God of War, it was the first video game. It came out in 2018. The first video game that had no cutscenes. That like it's beginning to end. You never lose sight of the characters. Right. Like, and if it's unless it's like telling us direct story, it transitions to it. It doesn't like cut. So it's like the first video game that had no cuts in it, where they like, had a cut scene from the game and then you're back to the game, beginning to end. And absolutely fantastic game. I basically just watched my brother beat it because it's like a movie. Like you can just watch the videos online, but being able to play it, obviously, it's the old God of War 3 style. But yeah, the Ragnarok though, which is super interesting that they went into this world because basically if you haven't played the original God of Wars, he's fighting all of the Greek gods, right? And at the end he ends up killing all of them. Spoiler alert, right? Like they're all dead. He kills all of them. Except the only person I think that's left is like maybe like Athena, who's like a ghost kind of. I think that might have been who it was. But basically in God of War, technically 4, which is God of War, he's just in the middle of the woods, and you're like, okay, this is random. It's snowy. He's clearly not in Greece, and he is basically communicating with this kid that's around him. He just calls boy, right? So that's like the whole thing. But you find out that he is no longer in like where he was. He's in this place with all of the Nordic gods, and so it's super interesting because they make it as if that world was universal, but the interest in the Nordic mythology, there are several different worlds. So it's almost as if he could have left from one world and came to this world, but they don't really dive too deep into it. And the reason that it's particularly coincidental with the Marvel announcements is just for the fact that it's Ragnarok, and not just based off the movie. The sun in this game. So again, I'll say spoiler alert. So skip ahead 20 seconds if you haven't played God of War 4. But the son in this game, you find out at the end, he had a name, and it wasn't the name he keeps repeating. His name is Loki, and his mother is a giant, which was the same story of Loki. And the interesting thing is that the snake, the world-eating snake that ends the world or restarts the world when he fights Thor and gets sent back in time, is supposed to be Loki's son. It's one of his creations, right? So he makes a giant snake that is meant to circle the world, and I think a wolf that is meant to eat the moon. I think that's the other lore. So yeah, it's super interesting that I think the snake even almost recognized him. Like it shows it in the game where it's kind of like he's looking at him like a little differently. So it's pretty cool. But yeah, so basically the trailer for this. Let me start this over. I'm gonna put this. No, stop playing. Where's my share screen again? Share screen. Share screen. Share the screen. Bam. Where's the... Oh, get out of here. Yeah, you guys can't hear that, right?
No.
That's just coming through to me. That's fine. Yeah, we see him sharpening a knife. Someone bringing back a deer. And it's a boy. Yeah. Oh, also, as the kid's explaining too, how Ragnarok should be coming. That was part of the ending of the last game, the fight with one of the gods, and the pissing off of one of the most powerful beings in this like universe, which is what's her name? What's the giant queen? The wife of Odin.
I forgot her name.
Oh my god, I can't remember her name. It's in Thor. Like, is that like she's like, dang it, what the heck's her name? Whatever her name is. It was a giant, although she's not literally a giant in our context. She is the species of giant. She is roughly the height of man, and basically, again, spoiler alert. Cut ahead 20 seconds from now. What's his face? Kratos ends up killing the crap out of her kid, and she's a little pissed off at the end of the last game. And yeah, that's how the game like kind of ends off. There's a little happier ending after that part, but that's kind of how that ends off. So because of that, that's we believe like the trigger to a bunch of this stuff. Yeah, and he's much older now, which is pretty cool. Oh, there she is. Dang, I forgot her name.
I wish I could see any of this.
I know, it's so awesome. Oh yeah, this guy too, Mimir. For anyone who's played the game, He's the head that he carries around. He is so from the last game as well. One of the things that was interesting, again, skip ahead 20 seconds. Yeah, I'm playing the game. The kid starts getting really sick, and Kratos doesn't know why. And later, it turns out it's because he is a god, the kid, and he doesn't know it. And there's this thing that if you're unaware of this like energy within you, that's this divine power, it will start killing you. And so he ends up having to be told this. He gets all cocky and arrogant, causes a bunch of problems. But in this one, now he seems like he's older. He understands like his role, and he's trying to like figure out himself, right? And the whole thing was that the giants were very not is it omnipotent, like all knowing. They figured out that all of this stuff was going to happen. Like they had paintings of the fact they were all going to get killed, and at the very end, what's it called? The boy Atreyu or not Atreyu, Atreus, thank you. Yeah, not Atreyu. Atreus or Loki was supposed to be ending up in the giant kingdom in Jotunheim. And so when he gets there, the boy goes out to the tallest mountain there, which is where he wants to dump his mother's ashes. And Kratos is still inside when like the thing falls. There's like something covering part of the painting, and it falls down. And he actually sees his son holding him. Spoiler alert. This whole thing is gonna be spoilers for God of War 4, but that came out like 3 years ago. So, anyways, he's holding Kratos and he's dead, and the son is shouting. And if you look at it, it actually looks like as he shouts, there is a spiraling snake coming out of him. So it's kind of interesting. Like that's kind of the thing that Kratos knows from the last game, is that he's likely to die. Now Mimir here, the head we're looking at, is basically one of the most omnipotent people in all of Asgard, or all of the 9 realms. He knows basically as everything that anyone could know, and he was cursed by Odin to be stuck in a tree for life. And so what what Kratos does is cut off his head, brings it to the witch, which is the witch in the woods, which is Odin's former wife, and reanimates the head, and he carries this head around him with him the whole time, and he kind of narrates it. It's a great addition to the game because the game is very serious, and this guy will be serious from time to time, but he's obviously a head, so every once in a while he's like a little playful about that. But he'll like narrate stuff, and it's a cool way to like know what's going on in the world without it being weird. Like there's some background narration. It's literally this all-knowing head that's with you, so it's kind of cool. It's kind of like having the hey, listen, the little what's it called, the fairies from Zelda.
Yeah.
This also looks dope. Yeah. Oh yeah. So then, he's getting cut out. So then something else that's interesting is at the very end of the last game, if you keep playing the game, like when you finish the game, you end up dumping the ashes off in the mountain, but you can actually go out and beat the rest of the game and then return home. And if you do, there is like one cutscene, and this final cutscene is you waking up in the middle of the night because you hear thunder, and like it's dark, and you hear there's crashes outside, and you open the door, and Thor lands there, which you don't see the entire game, but he's talked about the whole game. In fact, you kill 2 of his like brothers or cousins or something like that. And I think it's cousins. And so basically Thor appears at the very end, but then you wake up and you find out it's a dream, right? So it's not real, but it's, again, all of this stuff is meant to mean something. And the other thing they're talking about is how in the Nordic mythology there is a god called Tyr, Tyr, who I believe is a giant, and he is the god of war, but he is the one god of war across all the different mythos who's actually a god of peace. Like, he's trying to tame wars. That is the purpose of him. So that's why he set up a lot of stuff that moves in the last game, and a lot of these like things that basically help Kratos complete all the tasks he's trying to complete.
Coolio.
Yeah. Yeah, see? He just hangs out on your belt buckle. Oh, it was also cool too. The two there's two dwarves that are the blacksmiths, and there's one that's blue, and it's because he works with silver barehanded. And if anyone has ever seen or read the book or seen the movie, The Five People You Meet in Heaven, there's the Carney who is all blue, and it's because he was given a shot of like silver nitrate or something like that was supposed to cure some disease, and it turned their skin blue. So it's kind of cool. I like that. Who the heck? Oh, this guy's new. Yeah, the fight scenes are still ridiculous, too. Oh, he's mad. There it is. So this cutscene right here is the cutscene at the very end of the last one. Except, and now I'm realizing he's an adult, though. Is this the same house? This might be the same house, but not an adult, but the kid's older right now. Yeah, the fights, the fighting in this game was phenomenal.
All right, God of War.
It's almost done. I'm just letting it play out. This one's a lot longer than the other ones. Ooh, that looks like Keanu Reeves. Yeah, nice. Ragnarok. Yeah, that's interesting that they would, because I actually haven't seen this one yet, but the trailer yet. But the interesting thing about this is that they kind of like give up one of the big things that makes the game interesting. But in the last game, Tyr is seen throughout the whole game in like storyboards, like these old ancient drawings, and he's always like guiding you to a bunch of different things to help you do what you need to do. But it's presumed that he's dead, and so they say that even in the trailer, like that he's clearly dead. But Mimir, the talking head, is like, well, for being dead, he worked really hard to not be found, right? So like, that doesn't make any sense that if he was dead, he wouldn't need to keep on hiding, and so. Or he wouldn't be able to keep hiding. Someone would have to hide him. So it's kind of interesting that they actually show them finding him. And yeah, so that's it for the video game news.
Wow,
that's some exciting stuff, though. I'm definitely excited about the Ragnarok one. Again, like I just watched my brother play the last God of War. It was extremely cinematic. It's just like I would love if they made a movie of that, but I feel like the movie would not be able to do it justice because the games are done so well. Like I would, but this is the other cool thing too. This is just a little side story because I watched a lot of the behind the scenes of the original God of War 4, and meaning the one before this one, and the voice actor. Oh my God, I forgot his name again, but he is the voice actor that plays Teal'c from Stargate.
Oh, nice. Okay.
Yeah, so if anyone who's seen Stargate, Teal'c is one of like the coolest characters in there. He's also just like an awesome actor. And he plays the voice actor in this. And there's a couple of scenes where, like, if you're watching this, even though it's a video game, you might tear up. Like, it is really powerful. And it turns out that there's a scene where literally Kratos is crying. And it turns out that the voice actor, dang it, I feel like it's Chris or something like that. But the guy who plays Teal'c, he actually started breaking down and crying during it. And when he tried to explain it later in an interview, his response was, I felt like I was telling my son or sending my son an apology letter. Oh man, he cut out. This one's powerful. I'll wait till he gets back for that one. This is like really cool. He'll be back. He's always back for the Buttercat. The Buttercat? Is he coming back for the Buttercat? There he is. Yeah, sorry, he cut out right in the good stuff, so I stopped. But basically, he actually was like crying during the recording of the scene because he did it mocap, like it wasn't just voiceover. So he actually did the animations for this. And later in that interview, he basically said, like, I thought I was giving a apology letter to my son. And he goes, you know what? I'm just going to leave it at that. Like, he couldn't keep talking about it. Like, it was that kind of like, it meant that much to him. Like, he felt like this whole game was just for his own kid. So like that's why the game, because like if you watch the game and listen to all the not cutscenes, but listen to all the story, like the talking between them, like it is so powerful. Like it is such a good game, and it's a really cool like coming of age father son. Like yeah, awesome game. So anyways, that's the last thing I wanted to say about that one. But that was definitely such a great game. Highly recommend it. 10 out of 10. Can't wait for Ragnarok.
Sick, dude. No, yeah, I've seen like some of the gameplay footage and stuff like that. And when it first came out, like, the whole system of the game was a really big topic. And yeah, I mean, it looks super immersive and really, really like graphics wise looks engaging. Just the entire game looked like it was really well done. And I've heard other people talk about the storyline and say the same thing. Like it was like it pulls you in and it feels cinematic, and it also like makes you feel things, you know what I mean? Which is like kind of, I think where games are heading, you know what I mean? Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Games are heading into that cinematic arena where it's like it's going to start pulling at your like especially because you're playing it, like you're actually guiding the character through in a certain regard.
I think basically I saw like a joke meme about the fact that very often people are like, oh, the story, this, and then they're like, but the graphics, man, they're awesome. Like that carries everything. Yeah. I feel like now the graphics have now finally reached a point where there's so many games with good graphics, you need to tell a good story or your game's not going to sell. And they fucking nailed it. It's such a great game.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. It's kind of like how comics are now too. It's like, indie comics kind of have that same appeal, right? It's like, yeah, you can have some really great artwork, but if there's not much.
Exactly.
Yeah, I know exactly what you're talking about. Like it's just like Ka. There needs to be lots of Ka. It's pretty solid. Yeah, Hector, we were just saying how much we agree there needs to be a lot of Ka. Like there's not enough Ka.
There's definitely needs to be more Ka.
Yeah.
That was my whole point was the Ka. You know what I mean?
Oh.
Yeah, that's it. That's where it was supposed to stop. It was meant to stop right there.
That was like 30 minutes of talking about video games.
Yeah, now it's time to break down another trailer.
So break it down. Sure. So there's
Greg's like
so there's this really cool movie that came out in the
1999,
and people should know what it is. If you don't know, then I don't know where.
There's a lot of movies.
If you don't know, then you better ask somebody.
I mean,
there's
a lot
specific one though. The Matrix came out in 99.
The what tricks?
Yeah, 99.
99. The Matrix. The Matrix.
No, the Matrix.
The Matrix.
What about my mattress? What?
Matrix.
So basically what happens is John Wicks goes into a computer.
Yeah.
That's
he goes into an animus that Assassin's Creed definitely from.
Yeah, right. Dude, they definitely did.
But now there's a new one, and maybe it's the last one. I don't know, but it's called Resurrections, and it's pretty fancy looking. People are like, "Where's Morpheus?" A lot of people are saying that the younger teenage kid, is actually Morpheus. Like
teenage. He's not a teenager.
He's a kid.
He looks younger, but yeah, he's definitely not a teenager.
Definitely not a teenager.
But yeah, people are saying that that's Morpheus. And then there's like people that think that he's actually like in another body because they like destroyed the Matrix.
Yeah, that's so real quick for anyone who hasn't seen it. It all starts off with him like in therapy, thinking that it sounds like he thought everything was a dream, but then it gets really quick back into like Matrix stuff where they're doing like superpower shit. So you're like, what the heck's going on? And yeah, that's definitely what I presume is that like at the end of Matrix 3, was it not Reloaded? What was the third one?
Revolutions.
Neo's dead, like definitely. Like dude. Remember, he gives up his life and he's left there with the robots and he's dead. Now, if he's not dead, right, it's because someone brings him back to life. But he's definitely dead. right? Like just like remember Trinity dies and Neo brings her back. She was dead, right? So even if he's not
okay, look.
dead, I say
the title of the movie right there kind of.
I know that's what I'm saying. So I'm saying that. But here's the interesting thing. My thing though is that I think actually what happened was either the architect or the Oracle thinks that Neo is the most unique because remember he's the seventh one and he's the first one to do something different. Sixth one, yeah, and he's the first one to do something different, and that's why the architect was interested in him, right? And to me, what I think that means is that they did do a reset of the Matrix, right? Because I think that was his deal, right? Oh, he cut out. Damn it. But I think that was supposed to be the deal at the end of.
Yeah.
There he is. Yeah, I was waiting for it. I was holding my breath, hoping he'd come back. So yeah, I was going to say, I think that his deal with the architect was that by going back in, he was going to save Trinity but reset the Matrix. I believe that was part of the deal, and so I believe what they might have done is they reset the Matrix, but they realized this particular being was so unique. Like think about it, they're all downloaded. Like you can download martial arts. Why can't you download their consciousness? It's very possible that the architect just saved this copy of the one and had him go back in, right? And now he thinks everything was a dream, but he has all his old memories. So that it's possible there's something like that. But yeah, it's super interesting because yeah, it's basically him and Trinity. I didn't recognize anyone else other than NPH. The second I saw him, I'm like, oh my god, I can't believe he's in here. But yeah, it was interesting because like even the lady with the white rabbit tattoo is different. Morpheus is different, and I didn't recognize anyone else other than Neo and Trinity. So it's definitely interesting. They could. That's why I think that's what happened, right? Because those two recognize each other. But that's my opinion. I want to hear yours.
So I watched.
Yeah, so he watched it.
That's pretty solid.
Can't wait to edit
all I know is just something funny before you go, Hector, is that it's called Resurrection, and the song playing in the background is like one pill makes you larger, one pill makes you smaller.
Yeah.
Resurrection. I thought that was funny. Anyways, tell me your thing.
Okay, so I watched a trailer breakdown. So essentially, going through each individual part of what was seen in the trailer, and even things that you kind of don't pick up on. Obviously, if you're stopping the trailer and looking at every single detail, you can kind of pick up on some of these things. So there's a really great explanation, and it makes complete sense. First of all, the trailer in itself is just full of callbacks to the trilogy. So pretty much the entire trailer is the entirety is linked to all of the other movies. So you get a really good sense that this is not going to be something that is divergent. It's not something that it's very much attached to everything that has come before in very, very tight ways. It's not something that's going to be like you're going to go to the movie theater and be like, this is completely different from the Matrix trilogy that I've seen earlier. So one of the theories, but it's a very strong theory, is essentially that the Matrix has been reset. So this is the 7th iteration of the Matrix, but in this version of the Matrix, people are given a choice, just like Neo was given a choice to go to the real world or to stay, essentially to choose ignorance or to choose the truth, right? So that's a very upfront choice, and that's the difference between the previous iterations of the Matrix and this one.
Is that based on the fact that the blue pills that are very prominent throughout?
So that's part of Neo's journey in this iteration of the Matrix. Now, part of that is maybe this isn't even a Matrix like how it used to be, where there's essentially they're sharing in the same Matrix. So essentially what another theory is that this is its own enclosed Matrix that only houses in reality Neo and Trinity. So they're actually quarantined from the rest
that would be
of the
super
Matrix.
Interesting. Yeah.
And essentially, so Neil Patrick Harris, and essentially you're if he's the therapist, you have to believe he's the one that's prescribing him the blue pills. And if you look at everything inside the office and like his clothing in general, he's wearing blue. He has blue framed glasses. He's wearing like blue socks.
There's blue books with a blue butterfly in the background.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So essentially, he is the control. So Neil Patrick Harris is this. He's pretty much like the architect, right? So he's the new version of the architect. He's the version of the Matrix that essentially keeps control, and that's why he keeps prescribing these blue pills to Neo to keep him essentially inside the Matrix and away from all the other human beings, right? So he doesn't unlock or unleash.
That's interesting because I wonder if that's almost kind of how I was saying that he was so unique. I thought he might have brought him back, but instead quarantining him. That's pretty interesting.
So okay, so let me get through it, and then here's what makes him unique, right? And you alluded to it previously, is the choice that he made that was different.
Oh, he's cutting out. Well, right before he comes back, the one thing I want to know if this is like a Greek god that means something. You know what I mean? Like, I feel like if there's going to be some like allusion to something, I bet like that would be something.
I don't know why my internet's being like.
Don't worry, I was
especially ridiculous today, but it is.
Well, I actually wanted to ask too if in that breakdown in the office of NPH there is a statue, like a gold statue underneath a lamp in the background, and I'm trying to figure out what god that is because I'm curious if it's like Loki or something like that. You know what I mean? Like not because of any of the other references, but because of this thing that it's like the illusions. Something along those lines. There's super interesting.
There's a lot of hidden things in there. It didn't go over that specifically, but it does go over like quite a bit of stuff. But so what you're alluding to is he was different from the 5 other iterations of the Neo character, the anomaly, right? And the difference that he made was the choice essentially to save Trinity as opposed to saving everyone else.
Mm-hmm.
So that's why Trinity is essentially super important. And in this movie, they give more of the sense that it wasn't just Neo that was special. It was actually Trinity that was special. So together they are the anomaly. So together they're the difference, right?
So okay, so that would make it super interesting if that's the reason they separated them was maybe the one from the fifth iteration realized like that was an issue. And when the anomaly came out, the anomaly itself realized it needed to separate. You know what I mean? It needed to break away from itself.
Or it's just the aspect of human evolution taking hold. Like now there was only one.
There can be only one
who could kind of like, manipulate the Matrix, who could see it for what it is. And now because humans have been so many generations born inside of this thing, now we're evolving and there's another one that can do the same thing or do something like it's man pairing essentially, right? Like, so like the whole aspect of the Matrix was there's this huge tie into religion and Christ and things like that. So now you have another aspect of man, like, essentially man in his rib, right? So like man, and now there's a counterpart who essentially makes this one, this actual one being that
one and better is the idea too. Like,
and no matter what the computer, no matter what the machines throw at them, they can overcome it. You know what I mean? That kind of dynamic. But also, okay, so in this trailer, there's a breakdown. I didn't see this when I saw like the full speed or the regular speed breakdown, but there's a scene that actually Trinity kind of is doing the same kind of reality breaking moves.
Are you talking about that series of flashing scenes near the beginning where it's like flash, like really
there's
quick?
A lot. Yeah, there's a lot of quick transitions in this trailer, and the only still images or the still moments that you get is when Neo's talking. You know what I mean? So like it's one of these flashing kind of images, but essentially so they meet in a coffee shop, right? So like him and Trinity meet in a coffee shop, and then you see more flash images of the same coffee shop. So the coffee shop scene that I'm talking about is basically so Trinity is like doing these reality breaking moves where she's just destroying the hell out of these troops, and then she like screams, and when she screams you see like this separation where essentially it's like 6 different Trinities.
Yeah, I'm trying to find that scene,
and that
is around here. Yeah, it is. Oh, you cut out. That's cool. I'm looking for the scene anyways. Oh, yeah, look at that. There it is. Yeah. Yeah, I just found the scene. I was looking for it while you're gone. Yeah, where she kind of like echoes herself out.
Yeah. So basically, again, that's another allusion to like the evolution of the Matrix itself, and that there's been not only 6 Neos, but there's been 6 Trinities. So each time they meet in a different life, and it's like, that whole destiny kind of thing where you're meant to meet this person and they're meant to, you know what I mean? Like that whole concept of well, because the whole movie is about self-determination, right? Like, so you decide your own destiny. Like you're breaking free of the constructs of destiny, of what was meant for you. But then it also ties back into destiny in the sense, right? So like these two people were meant to meet. They were meant to become what they were, and like it's playing out in the real world and not in the Matrix itself. There's also like, again, that there's this kind of concrete foundation that really makes you believe that they are in their own definitive kind of matrix, like a quarantine matrix. There's a scene where you see 2 pods that are right next to each other, and they're separate from all the other kind of human pods that you've seen in the first, Matrix trilogy. And you see Neo waking up from his pod, but he's like way more attached. Like there's, in the first, movie, they have all the wires, but like, there's these little parts where they come off and stuff like that.
Well, I saw the one with Trinity where it shows just her. I'm actually looking for the one you're referencing, because the one with Trinity, she's all hooked up in glowing blue and stuff.
Yeah, so there's that one, but it's like a far scene, and then like you can zoom in and you see like one person sitting up, and then like there's another scene that's in a different part of the trailer that because again they kind of slice this thing up, and you see Neo like sitting up and he's looking like forward.
Yeah, that one's during one of the flash scenes. I'm trying to remember where that was.
And it's kind of like, again, a lot of these scenes, like they're kind of like they're so similar to the previous movies that you can't tell if they're just doing like flashbacks or this is a new scene. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's what I thought that was. Now that you mention it, I thought that was from the first one.
But no, but you see differences. Like he's like far more connected. Like there's way more connection points. And the scene that you were just talking about where you see the blue. So if you notice, there's actually a whole nother port, like that's on her neck now. You know how it's
it looks way different. Yeah.
Yeah. And so basically, again, like there's a lot of little differences, subtle differences, but you get the sense that they're the ones that are like, they're the only ones that are connected to this specific matrix. And there's another like kind of flash scene where you see 2 people that essentially are like, the whole fresh out of the pod people, and they're being attacked by sentinels. So like they're being kind of like pinned down by the sentinels, but they're like reaching for each other and like almost grabbing each other's hands. So you understand like this is probably Neo and Trinity, and they've somehow escaped, and like the connection in the real world, like them touching each other, is going to have some kind of effect in the entirety of the Matrix, maybe breaks them out from their own quarantine.
While he's doing that, I'm trying to find that scene.
So like I said, internet's being ridiculous today.
No worries. Yeah, every time it does, I'm just going through the scenes trying to find the one you're talking about. Right now, I'm trying to find the. I know the one you're talking about because like I saw it in the flashes. It's much quicker than I thought it was too. I'm trying to like pause it on it, so now I'm playing at a 0.25 speed.
No, when I saw the trailer breakdown, I was like, I didn't see any of this. Like, what are you watching a different trailer? But no, it's just so quick. The cuts that they make in this trailer are so quick that you just can't.
Oh yeah, I just paused right on one of them. Yeah, I think that's, I don't know if that's Neo or not, but somebody's like really hooked up. That was him. Ah, dang it! I fast forwarded or rewinded it too far.
Yeah, so I mean, not to really spoil the
his eyes are burnt. That is him. Oh, so that is him. Yeah, you see his burnt eyes.
Yep.
And shaved head though.
Yeah, no. So he's reinserted into the Matrix, and again, you already he already came back to life one time. Remember when he gets shot in the actually he comes back twice in the trilogy. So essentially, in the first movie, he gets shot and then he dies and comes back, and then the second time is actually in the real world. No, okay, he doesn't die in the real world. No, my bad.
Well, if anything, this would be the real world death coming back to life.
But yeah, he brings Trinity back to life.
Yeah,
remember that? So he
takes out the bullets. That's the thing I was talking about. But he did that in the Matrix, and it brought her back in the real world.
And that's not something that's alluded to at all in the trailer or in the breakdown. Was maybe that like when he did that, when he saved Trinity, he inserted a piece of himself. maybe, and that's like kind of what starts this
Well,
whole.
it's kind of
difference.
interesting too because he has to go and start her heart. It's like right next to the ribs. It's kind of like that, the thing we were talking about.
Yeah. So super interesting, and theories abound. Like you can still have a ton of theories as to where this is going, but there's like a really concrete foundation based on this trailer. And if you do watch it, like a trailer breakdown, the one that I looked at was from Future Rockstars. And it's a really concise kind of breakdown. I'm sure there's little things that they missed and things like that, but I would say go and check that out. Check out all these different trailer breakdowns as you can, just to get some, I guess, context. But I think it's a solid foundation. It makes a lot of sense. It ties into every concept that they have. Another really cool thing is, I don't know if you guys remember Santi from the original Matrix series, where she was essentially a program that didn't have a purpose. She was born from 2 other programs, and she was essentially like, she controlled the sunrise. That was her program.
Oh yes. I was trying to remember who the hell you're talking about. Was that the second movie?
It was the second movie. Yep, it was Reloaded, because that's when you learn about all the different programs that govern the Matrix and how they're kind of like sentient beings. So there's a theory that the woman that you see, she closes the book, the Alice in the Wonderland book. He meets her in like a Asian noodle place or whatever. Mm-hmm. She has blue frame glasses, and she's of Indian descent. So you assume this is a future version or a grown-up version of Santi, and she is now the new Oracle. So in the last movie too, she's living with the Oracle. Like she is taken from her parents, and then she's like, basically it's her and the Oracle. So essentially now she's the new Oracle, and she's the aspect of chaos. So you have Neil Patrick Harris is the control, and then the Oracle is the chaos, and she's that version of chaos, right? So it's super interesting.
That actually makes me think, like, when you're saying that he might be he's in his like quarantined matrix. It would be interesting because like the fact that him and Trinity look the same shows that even when they're re-injected, like that they're the same people exactly. And when the world's recreated, you think that it would turn out the same people. They would just try to alter it a little bit. And the fact that they have a Morpheus in there is almost as if they create, like, it makes it like they created him. Like, yeah, let's just put Morpheus in here because like we know he'll feel comfortable that way. Like,
that is one of the theories. Yep. And you actually see in the trailer, you see Morpheus's body essentially being constructed. Like this Morpheus, not the older version of Morpheus, but yes, that is Morpheus. So that's confirmed. He is playing a younger version of Morpheus, but it's not clear as to whether this is a construct of the Matrix itself, or this is like humans somehow figured out how to inject Morpheus's consciousness, or whatever the case may be, into the Matrix to kind of help Neo break out of it again. So it's very much like you could have this character who's kind of like, he seems like a good guy, he seems like a comfortable good guy, but he's actually.
Dang, one of the theory I have while waiting for him to come back is the fact that it shows like Neo's dead body there for a second. Like, he's hooked up, so he's clearly not dead, but it would be super interesting if like Neo is actually dying the whole time, and all he's doing is like sending like an impulse back to like a past, like the new iteration. Like, that would be something interesting. Like, if he right before he died, he basically puts a virus in the system so that when the next Neo comes out, he knows everything the last one went through. That would actually be really interesting, because it shows him, like, in one of the cutscenes, it shows him laying in the ground, his burnt eyes, and he's hooked up to a bunch of tubes. So he could be alive, but he's up. So it could be that he is actually dying. Well, I think he's, he just sends that in. I think that'd be interesting.
I think what happened was maybe his body, like, so we have like brain dead, and then like, your body is one thing, but then your consciousness is something else. Like, and that's super alluded to in the Matrix, right? So like in the Matrix, your body and your consciousness are connected. So if you in your mind, if you think something's real, you die, right? But what could have happened was his consciousness was kind of fully linked to the Matrix. Like, he's kind of got like, he's the only human with like a Wi-Fi connection, right? So like, he's walking around, he's not hardwired, he doesn't need, that's why he could stop Sentinels in the real world and things like that. So he has a direct like open link. His consciousness does not need to be hooked up to the Matrix in order to make changes in the machine world, right? So basically his body maybe has perished, but they found a way to bring it back, so like his hardware, they found a way to resurrect the hardware. His software never died. His software was just essentially
That'd also be interesting if maybe they're trying to bring back his physical actually, it could even be Trinity just trying to bring him back to life, and they're replaying a world so his brain doesn't die while they try to resurrect his body. Because, like you said, the consciousness could be floating in the Matrix. It could be that literally it's still in the Matrix, but they have to run this program where it'll slowly disintegrate, and they're trying to revive the body back. That would be interesting.
Think about this too. So Trinity dies in the real world, right? So again, we're talking about the title
after she's revived.
Yeah, no. She died. Well, yeah. You remember at the end in number 3, she dies. Like she legit dies. They crash into like a place, like they crash into the machine city, and she gets like pulls through her chest, and she dies.
Oh shit, I forgot about that.
Yeah, it's after he's blinded and everything. So the whole title of this is Resurrections. So maybe the machines have found a way to resurrect bodies, or to, essentially bring a consciousness back to life, or they have cloned her essentially. So now this is the 6th iteration or the 7th iteration of Trinity, but it's not the same, it's still the 6th iteration of Neo. So I don't know exactly how that happened. Maybe it's going to be one of those throwaway explanations where it's like, oh yeah, she wasn't quite dead yet, and we were able to recover her body and then bring her back
I hope
to life.
not, because I forgot. I remember the scene. It was right before he gets hooked up to the Matrix the last time. That was the whole point. Yeah.
So
I totally forgot about that.
That was meant to close the loop. Like that was the whole point of them two dying right there, was to close the loop of the Neos of the one. But obviously they've resurrected that concept, right?
Yeah.
So yeah, it's super interesting. Like I said, there's a lot of places it could be going, but I think one super interesting thing that has been completely neglected, has been completely left out, is there is no definitive Agent Smith. So
you mean like one person that is the clear, but even in the original trailer though, they didn't show that. You know what I mean? Like there was multiple agents in the first one.
No, they show agents. There's a human that turns into an agent right away, and it's actually the same guy, the same actor from the original Matrix. He's back in it. He's that agent. He's still that agent. He looks a little, obviously thicker. When you get a little older, you get kind of that thickness to your body. So it looks a little bit different, but still the same actor. But what I'm saying is there is no Agent Smith. There is no allusion to an Agent Smith. And he was legitimately like Neo's like anti-self, right? So there's no more anti-self in this, I guess, iteration of the Matrix, or they're saving that as a reveal that maybe Morpheus is that anti-self, that maybe he's that Agent Smith.
Oh, but that would be interesting, to make the person who was his mentor become the person who's now like the thing that's supposed to keep him in check. Yeah, I was just gonna say it's interesting. It would be interesting to keep to make the mentor the person who is now the one who has to keep him in check and fight against him in this reality. That would be very interesting.
Yeah, I think they're going for a really wide mindfuck in this movie.
Yeah,
because there's so much subject matter, they can like confuse the hell out of the audience and be like, and turn them in any direction. But like I said, there's a really, like, just with this trailer alone, so many things that connect to the original movie or the original trilogy, I should say, and it goes all the way back to the original movie, like the tattoo of the White Rabbit, so the deja vu cat is in the therapist's office. So you just have like so many of these like really strong references to the original trilogy. So it's going to be very much like, again, like it's very linear. This isn't like a offshoot. It's going to be a linear continuation of the story. Now, where they take that and how that works, again, with the resurrection of these two characters that are supposed to be dead, or that they allude to be dead in the in the last movie,
in the third of the trilogy. Yeah.
And then also too, like, you actually in this trailer, you see there's a human hovercraft that's like going kind of close to the surface, and you can see beams of light coming through the ruins. And if you remember in the original Matrix, the humans burnt out the sky, so there shouldn't be any light coming through. So what you get an allusion to is that maybe the robots have started like basically re-terraforming the earth so that the humans can come back to the surface. So maybe that truce that was created is still in existence, And like, how does that work? Like, how does the real world reflect?
Dang, he's cutting out a lot more frequently too.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's super. I wonder if that alone is the thing that like increased their time to like pause between stuff.
That is not the reason why our time is an hour now.
Yeah, I'm done. I'm done because my internet is just killing me right now, and I'm about to
making this into 2 episodes. So,
yeah, honestly, we could do the PS5 breakdowns and then this breakdown. Cool with that.
Something. We have a Buy Me a Coffee, so make sure to click the link in the description.
Don't just click the link in the description. Click the link in the description, and then buy me a coffee.
Yeah, do that.
Buy Buttercat a coffee. Look at him. He's thirsty for Buttercat coffee.
Look at his mouth.
God damn, that's
he's just like.
We need to make a Buttercat coffee. That'd be kind of awesome. We gotta get that branded. And any coffee makers out there wanna partner with us? You know, be a sponsor.
Actually, I was talking to Josh about that. J.R. Harris.
Getting Buttercat coffee.
He has a friend that makes their own coffee, and I was thinking of doing it for Chronicles of Horror, like
the sponsor.
But we can also do it for Breakfast Talk. Yeah.
Nice. You should cut this from the other one. Keep it live. So anyone who watched it live gets to see it, but no one else gets to see it. Don't.
So
there's gonna be one person that knows what we're up to.
So now we're gonna switch to.
That was Breakfast Talk.
Yeah, thank you so much for watching Breakfast Talk, guys.
Breakfast Talk. Yeah, make sure you like, share, and subscribe. Click the comments below and be like, yeah, Buttercat.
Like, share, and then subscribe.
If you comment the word Buttercat in the comments, I'll send you a sticker.
That's pretty hardcore.
Hell yeah.
On which platform, Greg?
YouTube.
Well, we're on all of them. Don't forget. So yeah, YouTube.
So
go to you. So if you're on Facebook, get off of Facebook. Go to YouTube. Go to Sierra Nova Comics. Go to this live feed. Find the video. Comment underneath it. #Buttercat.
Yeah, just do that and get a sticker.
Do all those things.
Look at that. So we're trying to give you stuff. Okay, so now we switch over the.
That's hilarious. You're like, hey, look at the new. Oh, yeah, that egg and bacon looks so damn good. Now you get to see. Can you see the new background?
Oh.
Could you see the one we were just on before this? Then
I could. Yeah, it's just like the red, but this one is just totally black. Like I can't see anything.
Cool. So
that's so weird.
Video.
No, actually, no. Real quick, if you reset the page now, like if you reset it, will it show it then? Maybe. Yeah. See, he like manually left. I wonder if that'll help. Let him back in, Greg.
Yeah. Okay. I see it.
Can
now.
you see it? Nice.
Yeah. Nice.
It almost looks like brunch.
That makes me hungry.
I'm starving right now. My stomach is like.
So
sorry, buddy. It's coming in a second.
we're pretty ahead in episodes, but now we're really ahead in a Breakfast Talk episode. But so by the way, if you want to watch the latest one, just click above. So before we get started, please like, share, subscribe,
etc.
Yeah,
that's the notes say. Oh my! I meant there's no notes. There's no man behind the screen.
Nay.
This is all in our head.
Dude, this is all brought to you by coffee. Greg, roll it. Roll the thing.
Roll the thing?
On the bottom. Yeah. See that? That's how this is funded. See how I'm like, see this lack of energy?
If you guys buy us a coffee, we'll reward you by creating our own brand of coffee called Buttercat Coffee. Hopefully, potentially.
Coffee. No, not potentially. I'll make that happen. I'll grind the beans myself.
I'll fly to Colombia right now.
I'll find a Buttercat in the wild and collect its milk to make you the best Buttercat.
Good Buttercat, yes.
And now we're blacklisted from YouTube.
We're talking about animal abuse and cruelty.
Hey, no. That cat.
You can milk anything with nipples. I have nipples, Greg. Can you milk me?
Fokker, yeah. Oh my god, that's such a good. Yeah, that's a classic. Anyways,
on
to news.
Yeah, so no one has done this yet.
Nipples. I have nipples,
but
Greg.
not
Nobody's done it.
But
Nobody's done nipples yet.
no one.
No, Greg, what has no one done yet?
Guess the green thing.
Oh, Jesus.
Someone
Guess the
tried to guess
green
it on a
thing.
recent episode of
Were they close?
Now they said kiwi. So
I already guessed kiwi. You're weak, son. You're weak.
maybe he's a new subscriber.
That's okay. Greg, where is it? It's going to be right here?
Sure.
It's right here.
We're going to play the logo. We're going to play the logo. We're going to play the video, the
Play that
intro.
logo, baby.
And,
I'm looking at it.
in the comments, live or when you're watching, guess the green thing.
I think
Guess the green thing.
no, that was epic. While the intro was still going, I just hear "Guess the green thing."
Yeah, it was pretty fucking perfect. I gotta say.
It's weird that because when he rolls that, it's supposed to auto mute us. That
It doesn't do that to him because he's special, I guess.
Well, no, the thing that's weird is
I'm Neo, baby.
You think that wherever the output is, it would still mute it. You know what I mean? It's it's weird that it's each of us individually broadcasting to a singular place, and that singular place has to mute us on our individual places in order for us to actually be muted. That's very weird.
Yeah, but he doesn't exist apparently.
Yeah.
When I roll a video.
So brought to you by Carl Jr. Why do you keep saying that? Do they pay me every time I do? You're so smart. Why do you know that?
So first up is Upstate Sound.
Yeah, Upstate Sound news. So basically, we've been working on a couple different projects for our newest venture, which is Upstate Live, which is our live events. We're working on putting on a couple of events between now and the end of October, when we will be putting on our big event for the artist Blow, partnering with Axel Rain, the DJ, and it's called High Tech Horror. The banner should be actually might even be done before the release of this episode, so I can give it to Greg. But basically, we're gonna have the poster released with hopefully all of the acts set in stone. We're gonna have a couple other different things. We got the venue booked. The venue is going to be at this very large art gallery warehouse. It's essentially a big open space concept. So there's a downstairs and an upstairs with just a set of stairs separating them. We're going to be setting up the whole thing. We're going to be working with a local theater company. We're going to have sets set up and actors and all that. And we're trying to discuss which rooms to put up. And one of the rooms we've discussed might be a Dexter room, where we end up wrapping plastic everywhere and splashing blood on the walls and having it look like it's a room for Dexter. So we're pretty excited about that. And also, by the time this episode comes out, hopefully we will have the interview episode with Blow on MC to MC podcast. So that'll be something to look forward to. Talking about some of his new releases, some of his new projects in the works, as well as the show that's coming out. So super excited.
That's cool. Yeah, that'll be out before this is out. So
yeah,
editing episodes for this too.
Nice.
Yeah, that's pretty awesome. So the Chronicles of Horror issue 2 trailer. We just shared the teaser trailer. It's the final teaser trailer. Hector just did the voice over narration.
Scary.
It's funny. So
oh, he's right there, Greg. He can't see you, but he can hear you. And he might not have internet connection, but he does have feelings.
He has feelings. There's no internet. So yeah. So he did a cool voice for that, and
no, you just said it was funny, not cool.
Well, the laugh is funny.
Stick with your critique, all right?
The laugh is funny.
Shit.
Shit.
There's that's happening, and then the trailer should be out this week. So, the week that we're recording this, not the week that this actually comes out. So, yeah, that's pretty cool. And then Seer Chronicles issue 2. We're just waiting to format it. All we have to do is add the
newspaper. Yeah, the newspaper. Oh my god, I need coffee.
And that's basically all we got to do for that. And then I got to print it. So,
Greg, real quick, while you're still talking, just run the banner again because I just yawned and people need to understand why. It's because you didn't buy us coffee.
Yeah.
Just one cup, man. I'm not asking for Starbucks quality.
We have subscriptions on there, but
yeah, buy me a coffee. Just one coffee a month.
Dylan, I'm legit booking my my Airbnb.
Oh, for that weekend?
Yes.
Yeah, the 29th. Did I say that? October 29th?
Yep.
Nice. October, yeah.
Oh, by the
way, Friday.
The thumbnail that I had made for the episode that's coming out this week, Blow is on it.
Nice.
And it's like a haunted house kind of thing. So yeah,
Is he scary?
it's just him from the Magic Carpet video.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. So.
Yeah. I think I announced that last week, but yeah, if you haven't watched it yet, check out Magic Carpet. Just Google the Upstate Sound Magic Carpet Blow. I know Blow is gonna be harder to spell, so I said all those other ones first. But Bleaux, Blow.
Yeah. So yeah, that's basically the brunch bulletin. Like, share, subscribe, and yeah.
Dude, the best part is Hector's like, I have no news, and my internet's working perfect.
Yeah.
He's like, it's weird if I stop talking, like the internet's fine, and then he's like, yeah, I agree, and it cuts out.
Seriously, as soon as I start.
You should have just left. You should have just closed your browser.
Yeah, right.
That'd be great.
Timed it out really nicely.
Yeah, so thanks for watching, and yeah, guess the green thing.
Guess the green thing. Play it one more time, Greg, because they're not going to remember.
Guess the green thing.
That was pretty solid.
The fuck? Cool. Cool.
Like, share, subscribe, print off a picture of this and mail it to someone for no reason. Buy me coffee. Send Hector some more Deadpool dolls.
Oh,
yeah, like that. And then Deadpool in the background's like, I'm not a doll.
Send him a router.
Yeah, enough coffees actually can be traded up for a router. So we have actually worked that out. I believe it's 13 cups of coffee if you need a number.
So I've figured out though it's the company, I believe, because it's T-Mobile. So shout out to T-Mobile.
Nice.
I didn't know that they had like internet.
I didn't know they had internet either.
They do.
That worked.
Right. There you go. So what the crazy thing is, this stupid, like, I have the router literally in my room right now, and it's direct hardlined into my computer, and it's like a SIM card, like a phone SIM card that's literally inserted into this, and that's where like the internet comes from. So yeah, it's ridiculous.
I thought the internet came from tubes.
Not anymore.
That's weird.
So real quick, so you have a SIM card that you plug into your computer, turning your computer into the router. Where's the modem then?
No. Oh, okay, I'm sorry. No, so this is it. Let me show you.
He disconnects from the internet.
Yeah, exactly. So this is the
Oh,
This is
that's
what I
the
got here.
that's a router. Okay.
Yep. And then the SIM card is plugged in.
Oh,
right there.
wait. So you have a desktop? Is that what you're saying? And you
Yeah.
have it's wireless as opposed to landline?
No, I have it. This is hardlined. Like the router's hardlined into my computer right now.
But the router's wireless
Yes, exactly.
to the modem.
Yeah, exactly.
That's
the modem
okay.
is outside. The modem's on.
Oh, yeah, that's weird. See, that actually kind of makes sense because like we have what is it, AT&T, whatever their fiber optic ones, something Universe Fiber, whatever it's called, and they had to like drill a hole like in the side of our house to like put it in or whatever. So it actually makes sense that they would just make it Wi-Fi because then they're like, oh yeah, then we don't have to do construction. We'll just make it not work.
Yeah, no, I'm like legit about to get like my own internet because this is getting annoying.
Yeah, that McDonald's Wi-Fi only goes so far.
Yeah, exactly.
That Wally World connection. Okay.
Anyways, thanks for stopping by for Brunch Bulletin.
Yeah.
Guess the green thing. Like, share, subscribe.
Put in the comments, what you think the green thing is, and you'll get a mug and a sticker. So.
And if you work for like Comcast and you just feel sorry for me,
send a couple cups of coffee. He's gonna need them to install the better internet.
buy me a cable internet. There you go. But that's what we should do.
Cool.